Well, this year, earlier this year, we came out with our Stardust kief-coating system. That's a system you see behind me. So this is the first and only system to automate the process to apply kief, bubble hash, crushed THCa diamonds, pretty much any dry powdery substance that you want to put on the outside of a pre-roll, this machine will do it. People have been pretty excited about it. If you're familiar with the process to create a fuzzy style pre-roll, very labor intensive, and there's a high loss rate associated with those manual processes. So when we're able to come into operations and show them how they can, one, make a better end product, but do it with a lower cost savings or with more cost savings, they're pretty excited about that.
How would you describe sort of Sorting Robotics R&D process?
Very interesting and very unique. So our company's founded by 2 NASA JPL engineers. And then now on our staff, we have, currently I believe we have 4 NASA JPL engineers. So we take a lot of NASA's design and build ideologies into how we approach our builds. And so what that results in is a high level of attention to detail, but we think outside the box. And a lot of it comes down to not only how the machine functions and how it works and all of those good things which matter, but it also comes down to how we address our customer support and our customer service. For instance, some of the members of our team helped build the Perseverance Mars rover. Well, if something breaks down on Mars, you're not going to send somebody up there to go fix it. So how do you address those issues from afar? One thing we do with all our machines, they're all hooked up to the internet, and we have cameras in all our machines. We're able to get in there and actually take a look for ourselves, see what's going on, put eyes on it, and be able to better serve our customers and make sure that their machines are running properly, consistently all the time, and not having that downtime.
Are you seeing that in the industry where just when it comes down to labor and people to tend these machines and maintain these machines, is that an issue still?
It is an issue. I saw a statistic earlier this year, whether it's true or how true it is, but the average tenure for a cannabis employee is 1 month across the industry. So turnover is expensive, right? So you're constantly having new people coming in to learn these machines and understand how they operate. One thing that's another benefit when you work with Sorting Robotics, not only are we very good at making automation robotics, we've also run cannabis co-packing facilities. So we've been on that side of the table. So when we design these machines and when we evolve them and further dial them in, we're looking at it not only from the perspective of an operator that builds these machines, but also, okay, I've been on the plant touching side. I know the type of workers that come in there, the turnover. Some have varying level of education. Some may not speak English as a first language. So when we build our machines, we build them in a way where to run them, they're very intuitive, they're very user-friendly because of those issues that you brought up at the beginning of the conversation.
What kind of production rates can they hit?
So it's going to be dependent on a handful of things, but what we've been seeing with Stardust, with a single operator, you should be able to hit between, say, 1,100 to 1,200 coated joints per hour.
Have you seen any emerging trends when it comes to pre-rolls? I mean, I feel like we're running out of space to put new things on a pre-roll or inside.
Yeah, so one thing that you're able to do, an emerging trend, I guess you could say, we have another system, an infusion injection system, Arreguy, that's been on the market now for 3 years. With automation, and not just with our system, but automation in general, a lot of times it allows you to make products that can't be made by hand. For instance, on our Arreguy, we're able to now infuse a half-gram joint, a little baby, dog walker, whatever you want to call it, but a half-gram joint. We now can precisely infuse non-decarb rosin into the middle of it and make a true hash roll. So when you smoke that, you get that traditional donut smoking profile. That's something you can't make by hand. You can do it with automation. So there's other technologies out there that are able to kind of push the envelope on what can be created that man can't create, or man or woman can't create manually.
What might be the next thing that we see coming out from Sorting Robotics?
So we're always, we're going to further dial in the Stardust system because this is a fairly new technology for us. It basically came out at the beginning of this year, so refining, evolving, that sort of thing. But we're looking to basically make a situation where you're able to put ground material in one side and out comes a finished packaged material. So we're looking to basically close that entire loop end to end with a single operator. So that's where we're headed. Again, I mentioned, we want to make these things as user-friendly, as intuitive as possible. Another thing that we consider when we're designing a machine is footprint. We realize that a lot of times the processing area in a facility is the last space to get thought of. Everybody wants to maximize canopy or whatever else. Oh wait, we need to process. So we make our units as compacted as possible. This machine behind me, when we were talking to our clients about what they needed in the system, it needs to fit through a standard door. We're not going to blow out a wall to get this thing in. Okay, we checked off that box. So as far as installing the system, comes out of a crate, you roll it in, you plug it in, and then we're going to be there for you for the first usually 2 to 5 days, depending on the system, to help you set it up, to train your operators, and to oversee your first production run. We're going to make sure that you're ready to go after that initial installation period. That's how we take care of you on that side.
What are your thoughts on the show this year?
Show's been great. You know, MJBiz, it's chaos, it's busy, but you know, this is, if you want to call it the Super Bowl of cannabis shows, whatever title you want to give to it, it's great. Me on a personal level, I love just being able to see people that I don't get to see on a regular basis because they're across the world or across the country. So getting that FaceTime, especially in this world now that we live in where a lot of things are done by Zoom, it's fantastic to have that opportunity to bring all these people together. And for us as a you know, as a technology company, it's great to see what other people are doing. It's great to get feedback from clients about what they want to see and what they need. You know, for us, we have ideas on what we think the industry wants, but it doesn't matter what we think the industry wants, it's what the industry actually needs. So to be able to get that direct feedback and see where the industry needs to go, it helps us to evolve as a company as well.
With some of those conversations, what are those things that people want and need that aren't in the industry yet?
So one thing is the automated packaging machine where you can put the machine takes the pre-roll, puts it in a tube, labels it, tamper seals it. That's a needed thing. It's on our minds. Another one that we get all the time is automated process to pack concentrates. Right now, you're taking a little spoon, you're putting a little 5 ml jar. It's tedious, it's labor intensive. So, you know, that's another system that people have been asking us to make. We have thoughts on that one as well. So those are probably the two mains we get, two main technologies people ask us about. You know, at some point, fingers crossed, this industry becomes federally legal. Once that happens, the FDA is going to be coming in, and now you're going to have much more oversight. We're already, you know, we work with a lot of operators in Canada, so Health Canada, call them the FDA of Canada. We understand where the industry is going to go. So when you are now having to have GMP compliant facilities, when you're now having to have food grade standards and all these other different certifications or registrations that the government's going to want, it's very difficult to be able to hit those marks by doing things manually. That's an area where automation can come into play, just with the reliability, the cleanliness. And these are things, when we're designing our equipment, we're designing them to a spec where it's going to meet those requirements. So if you were to invest in our equipment, you're not going to have to reinvest down the road to meet those requirements. You're already going to be operating at that level. So our equipments do that, but a lot of automation in general will help you achieve that goal quicker without having to rebuild down the road.
Is GMP becoming more important to cannabis operators?
It is, especially when you're, you know, when you start looking at cannabis as a global opportunity. So to go into the EU right now, in Europe, cannabis, for the most part, is only medical, right? So they treat it as a pharmaceutical drug over there. So in order to operate, you need to meet EU GMP requirements, which EU GMP is even more stringent than what the US would require for GMP. So when you start looking at a global level, if you meet EU GMP, you're pretty much good to go anywhere in the world. And obviously, you know, the British colonies are all over the place. There's 50 some of them. So yes, it's very important, not only for the North America, but once you start expanding across the globe.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, man.
Appreciate it, David.